Cool. Perfect. All right. Episode 3, Headlines Podcast. I got a lot of shit to talk about, but, we'll start first with a little rip on our Dr. Dabber, which is one of our sponsors for the shows, or at least sponsors for Huff Hash and Huff Adventures. What I'm smoking on today is another one of the sponsors. Shit, that shit's all fucked up. Huff Hash, some Pink Z, some new labels for these too. So, now you can let me know what you think. Actually, I brought this Dr. Dabber out to the Boston Freedom Rally this weekend, and I was using it to give out dabs. That's why the dudes gave it to me, or gave me a few of them, was to do events. And I actually find it to be like the easiest thing for giving out dabs at events like this, especially when you're outside and you're dealing with like the wind. Obviously the torch can be like near impossible, and the equos work really well, but they still take a good, a little bit of time for the rotation. And also people's like experience for it, like they don't really know how to like use the slurpers a lot of times. They see it and it can be like a little bit intimidating, or like they've had a bad experience with the dab. But yeah, they've had a bad experience with the dab, and so they see it kind of coming at them and they're a little bit intimidated. But you show them this thing and kind of explain how mild it's going to be. And I've had a lot of people that were at the event that maybe wouldn't have tried smoking anything end up trying this, and you can just create such a good, smooth, flavorful experience for them that I had a lot of people that were very positive feedback for the rips. And the main reason why I like it is because oh man, I did not want to do that. All right. I think I got up at the hottest now. But yeah, the main reason why I like it. So when I first, tried it, I'm not really like an E-rig type of guy. So I didn't think that it worked. I didn't really think that they work in a way that gave me a rewarding dab. And it has this interconnectivity with your phone where you can set all different settings, ranging from temperature to how long the dab it heats up. So if you're throwing like a half gram in there, or really whatever size, you can know that it's going to keep cooking it and just keep on giving you that rip. Also, it's got a quartz insert, so it's really easy to keep clean. There's no like having to pull it out to soak it. You just Q-tip it every time and you get the same result as basically a quartz banger. So it's a nice turnkey thing. Shout out Dr. Dabber. Let's get this rip cooking. Well, lights came on. You can't see, but it's a pretty fat glove. It's definitely on the big side for what I just take, even on the little slurper. But yeah, Boston Freedom Rally. If you don't know, it's been going on for, I think, 36 years now. It's 36th annual Freedom Rally. I think I'm going to send on the highest, I put on the lowest. Let's try that one. Woo. Yeah, that was the right one. Cooked. Yeah, Boston Freedom Rally. It's a celebration of legalized cannabis in Massachusetts. It's in the center of downtown Boston, and basically it's just a big open day in the park with a bunch of vendors and live music and celebration of smoking. And mad funny, this dude on stage was just screaming fucking pretty much sell cannabis to anybody. Like, don't ever let anybody tell you nothing. Like, basically, if children come up to you, like, give them edibles with candy. He didn't say that, but he just screaming "fuck the police" the whole time, or for his whole speech. This is pretty funny. All right, so we can start. I'll go through some of this stuff. So first of all, to address, I mean, actually, while I was filming the last episode, Charlie Kirk was assassinated, and I frankly didn't really know who this guy was until this event, and I started to kind of like look up a little bit about him, learn about him, and obviously this event was a tragedy. I personally, from the things that I've seen, didn't really agree too much with his political views, and I do think he was definitely debating with a demographic in our country that I would say is the most radicalized. I think children, youth minds, obviously not as fully developed, and they're being put in these situations where they're being getting very hyper about the things that they're passionate about, and I just think obviously this is a tragedy in a lot of forms, and nobody should be killed for civil discourse or their opinions for really anything for that matter. As obviously we're here and fought for a lot of these things, but I would have enjoyed debating him myself, as being somebody who just disagreed with him on a few things and have my own educated opinions on them. And I feel like obviously it's a tragedy on a lot of levels, and sad that debate is just silenced by a radical individual. And to that effect, I have to say, like, the post has been very interesting, as far as it took no time at all for what I'm just going to call MAGA and the hyper right to run with this. They took it like a baton. They sprinted with it. It was insane to see Natianu like come out like within an hour or whatever of the assassination. And he's like, "Look, I've been reading Twitter. I've been on Twitter, and a lot of people are pointing fingers and they're saying it was the Jews. All right, like, I know he was going against our agenda. I know he thought that we shouldn't have, America funding Israel, like Gaza genocide, anymore. I know that he thought that this was not good for American foreign policy. And I know that, like, that's highly confrontational to our agenda. However, just the implication that we would even be vaguely involved in this is highly insulting. Like, this is like just because we have a wing of our Secret Service intelligence agency that's specifically designed for assassinations, and sends pagers with bombs into foreign countries, and whatever else these fucking guys do, finds Nazi war criminals in Argentina and strangles them on beaches. I know that they do all that stuff, but even the slightest implication that we could be involved to somebody that goes counter to our agenda, that's insane. That's disgusting. And me, as a world leader who's currently engaged in a multi-pronged war and attack, have enough time of my day to look at what Twitter's saying about what we do in this. So anyways, back to bombing children or whatever we do. So I thought that was pretty fucking pretty wild. And actually, it was kind of segue me into my next section, because a lot of stuff just, or a section, a lot of stuff just kind of started to happen really quickly after this, assassination. And one of the things, so I put on here stranger than, one of my sections here is stranger than fiction. And seeing this podcast with, which I got to figure out how to do media on this shit. I'm gonna figure this out soon. But seeing this podcast, which Charlie Kirk's podcast, if you don't know, it got taken over by JD Vance and a bunch of White House officials. So starts in his vice president office at the desk, and underneath his caption it says JD Vance, and instead of it saying vice president of the United States, it says a longtime friend of Charlie Kirk, which it's as if being this guy's friend is a higher state of office at this point than the vice presidency of the United States. Like that's a pretty, it's insane. Um, Again, stranger than fiction. If you told me 4 years ago, whatever amount of time, that podcaster and a podcaster got shot, and that the vice president of the United States would take over his podcast to personally broadcast from his desk, while using the designation best friend of said dead podcaster, I'd be like, okay, this obviously is an upcoming Saturday Night Live skit, and like it's genius and that's hilarious. But yeah, I didn't know what to say. And if you've not seen any of this, it's some of the most insane shit I've ever seen. So basically, you have JD Vance going on to quote Bible verses and call on the American population to don the armor of God. And last time I checked, the founding fathers were atheists and had a separation of church and state, and actually ran away from evangelicals. So, well, there's that. Anyways, he also went on to say and accuse, with a bunch of other top party officials like Stephen Miller, that there's this left-wing radical groups that are creating this type of chaos in our nation, and that that they were going to go through efforts to rout them out, and they're going to find out who these terrorist organizations are. And this again is insane. Like, first of all, who believes that there's left-wing radical groups that are going around and being in like a trans army? Like, no, the most radical thing that these trannies want to do is fucking walk out of Netflix when Dave Chappelle makes some jokes about them. You know what I mean? Like this is the peak of like the left-wing radicalism. Like peak left-wing radicalism is like, hey, my kid identifies as a cat, and you need to put a litter box in our fucking school. Like there needs to be a litter box, and not only does there need to be a litter box, but the teacher needs to be the one to go buy it, because I don't have time for that. So have the teacher on their time that they should be like preparing a curriculum or, grading papers or whatever it is teachers do. Like they go to the store and try to get a human-sized litter box, which that doesn't exist. So probably end up at, I don't know, Walmart or whatever, with the biggest tote they can find. That's peak left-wing radicalism. Okay. So I don't know about you guys, but I've seen these schools. Okay. And they're crazy. Don't get me wrong. These are crazy people. All right. That's a crazy thing to do. If I was a teacher, I'd be like, you come into the school and you shit in a litter box first, well, obviously with nobody around. And if you do that in front of me, straight the fuck up, I'll go get the litter box for your kid. But short of you shitting while making eye contact with me in my classroom, I'm not going to do that. So, obviously these people are crazy, but they're not terrorist groups. They're not funneling funds from their fucking, I don't know, cat toy sales to the students or whatever into fucking like nationalist left-wing whatever that somehow has a trickle down effect, right? Like into a guy who grew up in a largely right-wing state in a
conservative household who probably felt like a little bit of personal disenfranchisement from the politics that his parents, adhered to, which is a very common thing for young people, and started dating a trans person, or had a trans roommate or whatever. I'm not quite sure what the story was exactly on that, but had some love relationship for a trans person, and felt that this individual was creating divisive rhetoric. And whether or not that's true isn't really much for us to decide beyond a personal opinion of either of these individuals. And so this person did what he did because he wanted to. He had a highly specific set of circumstances in his own life that led him to feel like he had no control over what was going on, and had no say, and he had a misguided attempt to make his voice heard in juxtaposed to this crushing wave and onslaught that he felt was divisive. And that is what it is. But he's now arrested, and he's facing prosecution, and he'll face the law, which is our country. He has to face due process, like, and everybody's guilty until proven innocent in the court of law. So I mean, already the court of public opinion is out on this individual. But at this point, that's not really up for us to decide. There's a judicial system for this, and at the end of the day, some people get shot every single day, and we don't know any of these people. Most of us don't have a close personal connection to somebody that gets shot randomly from a random act of violence by somebody that has dissent to whatever they're saying or feeling, or even just caught in the wrong place and wrong time. So I think in general, the way that our politicians are, the people leading our country right now, are just so focused on driving us apart and using these little things to designate everybody as an enemy, other than somebody who conforms strictly to their thought, their belief pattern. And it's to me, it's a very frightening thing. Like, I think that I've said it before, and I'll probably keep hammering in on this point, but it's like they're not even trying to lie well. Like they just labeled Antifa a terrorist organization, a domestic terrorist organization, and this is something that doesn't exist. Like, this is not Al Qaeda. This is not fucking Tren de Agua. This is not an official gang slash like legitimate terrorist cell that has encampments, that's training individuals. Like, what we do know for sure is that there are heavy right-wing militant camps. We know that there's people like the Proud Boys, who Trump addresses directly and tells them to stand back and stand by. And these people were found trying to smuggle arms in case what they felt was the 2024 election or whatever was stolen, and had previously stormed a Capitol to defy what they felt like was a stolen election. So we've already seen what hyper right-wing groups can do. They can storm a government building, they can beat a police officer to death with a fucking fire extinguisher, and they can come into, and while impersonating police officers, come into the home of a senator, a Democratic senator, and assassinate her and her husband. And that like, in the case of that, which, like, this is the extreme level of political violence, and there's nothing addressed about that, right? We have who knows who these people's motivations, this person's motivation is specifically. I didn't look much into that. I just know that it was to me a very scary thing of potential signs to come. But the president barely addressed it. The flags weren't flown at half-mast anywhere, or let alone in every federal building and at every military base around the world. When Trump was asked about it in an interview recently, he was like, "Who? Oh yeah, that person. Oh yeah, yeah. I don't know. I would have done it. I would have done it if the governor asked me, but the governor didn't ask me. So yeah, I don't know." And it's just like, what? It's, again, like, cheapest cop out you could imagine. Like, not even a good like lie. Like, he obviously just didn't care. And We do know that there's, literal racist, anti-Semitic, Nazi, neo-Nazi groups that actively do rallies in some places, like, active whatever, yeah, fucking just active anti-Semitic, flinging the swastika, fucking, racist rallies, and they're walking around with fucking machine guns in these states where you can have an open carry. And what are they carrying the machine guns for? It's not for the fucking police. Obviously, they know the police would smoke them. Like the SWAT would just come in from a helicopter, just like da 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 da. We got a bunch of Nazis on the lawn. Like, who hasn't been like been waiting to take out a bunch of like, let's go Inglorious Bastards on these assholes. Like, so obviously they know it's not for the police. They're bringing him out there because what? They're afraid of a bunch of fucking Nazi hating people that don't want to see them rallying in their streets and stand in their way. Basically, it's like these aren't the people that are typically hyper armed. Would you give me a glass of water and some Q-tips? These aren't the people that are typically like hyper armed individuals that are like routinely drilling in a military fashion while preparing to do who knows what, insurrection. So you have to be at this point just pretty lost in the sauce and completely steeped in the Kool-Aid at this point if you believe that anything that they're declaring right now, when they're declaring Antifa and domestic terrorist organization, and they're saying that they're going to go after whatever, is anything other than what it is. It's a way to mark and discredit people that they deem as political dissidents that go contrary to their agenda. And the thing is I've said it before, but these tools can be used against if this hyper right can use this against whoever now, against immigrants or whatever they say is the guys, but it's all just a stake to wrest this power and try and overturn these elections. But the hyper left can do the same thing. If they have an AI database with all of your information that connects even to voluntarily your medical database, if you agree, because it'll streamline things, quote unquote. Thank you. That also connects your tax records and your bank records and your social media profile that to federal databases, all under the guise of catching a bunch of immigrants. Can't be then flipped and used to, I don't know, track the hyper wealthy or any number of whatever things that these people deem. Say this other government swings straight socialist, and you have I don't even fucking know. It's all just. I feel like the writings in plain sight. I feel like it's pretty clear. And yeah, I don't know. I think right now is like not the time to be divisive. I think right now is the time that we come together overall and encourage communication. And now to see what I personally feel, which, like I said, I have a limited amount of time of seeing what Charlie Kirk was about, but from what I understand and what everybody in the MAGA party is trying to say and whatever is that this person stood for free speech. He was just that an advocate for free speech of more than anything. And I heard quotes as things of like he died in the square of free speech, and now he has a national holiday and or national whatever. And the irony, if you can't just see the utter irony of now them using that to then silence people like Jimmy Kimmel and silence visa holders, like so this is what I have for my petty move for this week is Marco Rubio saying actively like, yes, we're already going through people, visa holders, social media profile, which is the very thing that we're constantly talking shit on the UK for. Mind you, we like drag them over the coals about how they, censor and audit, their people's Twitter profiles and whatever. But so yeah, we don't do that for our people. But we do it for visa holders coming in that maybe are fucking nuclear physicists, or maybe like creating some new AI code that's going to help us beat the Chinese or the Russians, or some consultant on a chip manufacturing thing. Like I just read this article about how they fucking ICE came in and they raided this building with all these Korean like actual visa holders, South Korean visa holders that were working on like an AI program, and they literally said they saw them running in the building and they're like, that's crazy, it's not for us, like obviously we're here illegally. They arrested all of them, fucking rounded them all up at gunpoint, which again, these are South Korean coders, okay? Like these dudes don't, literally their country, it's illegal to spit on the fucking ground. So like these are the most law-abiding people on the fucking planet, dude. Like, so this is insane, okay? Whatever, they round them up, they take them, and then they realize that they're all there legally, but they're like, oh, well, we already processed you to send you out. So they sent them back to South Korea, and they're like, you guys can just reapply for your work visa and then come back. And it's like, well, fuck that, dude. You put guns in our face, and you went through our phones, and we're trying to see if we had any memes on them, or anything vaguely, contrary to your, thought of line and pathway that's being kicked down, from your bootlicker overlords belief system. And so yeah, I think it's petty as fuck that they're going through people's phones in what we call, the home of free speech. Like this is, the land of the free and home of the brave, except for we're not free enough and not brave enough to handle a bunch of you people commenting things that are bad about my friends. Okay, like he was my friend. Okay, like I mean he was a bit more of my friend than like these guys' friends. I mean, he was friends with all of us. Like we all talked all the time. Like honestly, like I think he called me yesterday, like like right before it happened, actually, like I maybe was like the second or fifth or eighth last person to talk to him. But like, he died. So if you say anything that doesn't say you'll suck him off in the afterlife, like you're praying for God to have him being just sucked off like 24/7, like if you tweeted anything other than that, like if you're doing anything other than what we're doing, which is nonstop sucking him off post-mortemly, then you need to not be able to get into this country, even though you've paid all your dues and you're coming here to help us cure fucking cancer or fucking AIDS or world hunger or whatever the fuck, or like, yeah, make new better missiles for us that like better hone in on drones or whatever. So yeah, I think that's really fucking petty. And actually, this is another thing that comes to mind. I saw this doctor who's apparently served the Navy. She's a woman, and she served the Navy woman at birth, and she served the Navy for 21 years. Never got a gender reassignment surgery. Never anything. This person is a career military official or career military doctor that's faithfully served our armed forces for 21 plus years. I'm sure planned to serve out till she retired. And she had in her Twitter bio they them, and somebody commented on it and said at Secretary of Defense Hegseth, somebody check this out. And he commented back and said new pronouns, were and fired. And that person, that woman, was relieved of duty, that for lack of confidence and ability to fulfill her role as the doctor that she's been for 21 fucking years. And how much money did the military probably spend on having this woman trained and serving basically 4 doctorates over? That's insane, dude. This is like the level of pettiness that this administration has. It knows no bounds. Like this is the person who's supposed to be in charge of our national security. Like Can you imagine the last guy, the fucking last dude, that black dude who was just like so fucking serious at all times? Like, I bet you if you cracked a fucking fart in front of that dude, like the most like raunchiest, like longest, like like, and he just still wouldn't even crack a smile. You know what I mean? He just seemed like he would just like, not only he probably wouldn't even address it, he'd be just like, like get that checked out. You know what I mean? So imagine that guy getting a comment from some random Twitter fuck about being like, check this out. And it's, first of all, that it's not just a dick pic. You know what I mean? Like first of all, that he's opening any like, hey, at Secretary of Defense, check this out. Check this person out. Like, check out this they, them. And it could just be a straight up tranny, like splaying her fucking like fake tits and cock and being like, I'm pretending to work in the military, you know, like in a military like uniform or whatever, which actually that's a good idea. If you're watching this, find a trans performer. Maybe if we can get in the comments and we can all pick on one, and maybe ideally they do some type of military cosplay or something like that. So, you know, I'm not gonna like find that, but if anybody does and lets us know in the comments, we'll try and get on this, and we can all tag at Secretary of Defense Hegseth. Check this they them out. Check them out. Like, we want to make sure they're not you know, infringing on military duty or whatever. And he'll click on it based on this. So I mean, that speaks for itself. Anyways, he's using his fucking time that should be, again, like worrying about fucking cyber attacks, or, you know, I don't know, like whatever the Russians are doing in Ukraine, or whatever the Chinese are doing in the South Philippine Sea, or whatever Kim Jong is doing with his fucking nukes or whatever, or whatever the Iranians are doing with the enriched uranium that they didn't get with the bomb because they got told that they were coming. So, yeah, you think instead of worrying about the, like, you know, things, yeah, he's clicking on what could just be a tranny doing porn, pretending to be a military officer. So wild. That's very, very, very petty of him to fire that woman, because yeah, she's a fucking a G. Anyways, let's see. Well, I can do some other shit for here. Let's see. Who's boo-hooing? All right, so I got some all right, so Trump, if you didn't, again, if you're not familiar with this, Trump this week or last week or whatever, he was at a dinner in DC, which also too, the trolling of Trump has reached peak high, right? Like, obviously people now have seen, because he's the Teflon Don, and people have seen a chink in the Teflon. You know, clearly there's a little teensy chip in this Teflon, and it's called Jeffrey Epstein, and that probably the Mossad has videos of you having sex with children. So that chink is just getting bigger. It just, the more evidence comes out, you know, the more perverted birthday cards and clips of him saying that he likes, you know, women really young, just like Jeffrey, and, you know, that's not bad, and people say it's bad, but, you know, it's just, you know, whatever, and any number of other nasty perverted things that this dude has said, just keeps piling on. That chink gets bigger and bigger, and so the trolling has just reached an all-time peak high. And so I thought it was really funny that these protesters came and found him at like a DC restaurant, which, like, hilarious one, that his security detail like apparently is this bad, right? Like, that a group of people could walk in and corner this old, like, borderline non-lucid man while he's like trying to slurp on oysters and, you know, smack waitresses on the ass or whatever it is he does. That they could just get in there and corner him and then just start chanting, you know, like, you're like fascist, or like, you're yeah, I can't remember, something along those lines, but, you know, they just called him some crazy, and he's just backing into the corner while the Secret Service are all just like, you know, like palming like M5s, And he's just like, stop it. Like, just stop it. Like, you guys should just be ashamed. Like, just stop it. And it's like, now the DOJ is saying that they maybe should face RICO charges. So I think that's just, now these people are on the same level as the criminal organization, as the mafia, and they need the same level of attention from our Department of Justice and civil and federal prosecutors and police and resources as Al Capone. So I think they're crying pretty hard if that's the case. I think that's a pretty whiny thing to do. Another thing is, yeah, shout out, Apple and ABC for restoring Jimmy Kimmel. I saw, he had like a really scathing monologue, or like really craftily, witty one, and it got more views than anything he's done so far. So congrats to him. Shout out them for what I don't even know. I'm just gonna call a timeout, like oopsie boopsie, you know what I mean? We'll just call it that. It's like ABC and Apple probably called his agent and they're like, look, you had a little whoopsie poopsie, you had a little, a little whoopsie daisy, boo boo on national television live where you said something that's contrary to the narrative that the president and these political machinations are pushing heavily, which also didn't turn out to be true. And you said something contrary to that as what you're deeming as a joke. So we just gave you a little timesy outsy, and you're back in the seat. Like this. Imagine having to walk into the office with that, right? Like it's like literally the principal's office with his agent, and they're like, "Okay, so tell us you're sorry." It's like, "Okay, dude, like I'm sorry. Like it was a joke." And they're like, "Okay, as long as it was a joke and you're sorry, you can have your show back, and we'll put all the money and all the whatever back into all doing it all. Just tell us you're sorry." And he's like, "Okay, I'm sorry. Like you just couldn't. Again, it was a joke. You just had to ask me. I would have come in on Saturday, and we could have had the show back up on Sunday. But I'm sorry." And we're back live. And yeah, apparently the MAGA crowd is boohooing. Obviously, all these apparently like freedom of speech bastions, these freedom of speech Christ warriors who are donning their Christ armor for the strength to fight for freedom of speech, are coming down to be like, I didn't like what you said. Like, I disagree with that joke and sentiment. Like, like now you're not gonna, like, what do you mean they're not gonna conform to us? Like, what we're winning, okay? Like I haven't been tired of winning yet with all this shit that's been going down. And I'm not gonna fucking get tired of winning now. Like, if you don't cancel him, we'll fucking cancel him. Okay, so that's basically what appears to be now the rhetoric over a fucking joke. And yeah, I don't know. I think again, all this is just insane. But yeah, seeing Trump tweet about it, which again, this dude is supposed to be leading the country. Okay, this is the guy who apparently the national security director had to hire or is looking to hire an animation studio to create cartoon animations as national security briefings, so the president will understand what's going on with geopolitics of the world, because he does not read, apparently. So that guy who's supposed to be controlling whatever, I don't even know what the fuck presidents do normally on a normal day, like bomb a bunch of Afghanis or whatever. Yeah, whatever they're supposed to be doing. Instead, he's like watching Jimmy Kimmel and like tweeting about it at 3 a.m. and being like, this is criminal. Like, this is a criminal. Like I can't believe
you did what I said, and then you undid what I said. I said I'd wanted it did. And then you came in and you undid what I'd said did. And now, who knows? Who knows what it could be a crime? I don't know. Who am I to say other than the leader of the free world? Like,
boo fucking who? Crimea River, fucking president of the goddamn United States, and MAGA crowd, and our Christ warriors for free speech unite, except for unless you go against what we say. Y'all can suck a dick. All right. This one I can maybe skip. This guy's funny. I'll say it briefly. For a trash move, it's a literal trash move. Trump's golf course in Scotland has breached the sewage limits now. I think it's something like 11 times. Like just like the amount of shit that pours out of this administration. There's so much shit coming out of this administration that it's backclogging the Trump hotels pipes in Scotland. Like there's so much shit coming out of this administration that in one of the cleanest, like probably like still ecological zones in the world, in some like pristine Scottish like Glen where you could probably like drink from the fucking stream, the Trump resort is just dumping out so much shit that it's now 8 of the 11 times it was designated as could cause extreme biohazard contamination and an extreme threat to the environment. So yeah, I think that one's like a literal trash move. Let's see. Okay, I have you blew it. And this one, I mean, I talked about it in the first episode. So apparently the guy, in case you didn't see it, like I said, I had inside information on the guy that the Kennedy team had hired for figuring out the cure to autism. He's my boy's boy, actually. So that's how I knew. And he just went in there and he basically was just like, hey, bro, like, you just got to give me, just a dark black budget, a crazy lab, a bunch of bad bitches, an 8-ball of cocaine, and I'll get you the cure to autism in like 2 months, And so the president's brainworm, human health secretary's brainworm that controls now like the arm of our, like the highest arm of our medical system, like pulls his little strings to be like,
yeah, I think this is gonna be something I can sell. Like, this is very good. I've been looking to find something that makes me credible. Like, this is clearly it. Everybody's fired. You're all fired. None of you are making me credible because you're all saying everything I say is insanity and crazy nonsense and mumbo jumbo. Fired. But this guy, he's the guy.
So then my boy's boy, he is an idiot. All right, he didn't even complete. Like, I think he has maybe a bachelor's degree in chemistry, like not even like a doctorate in biochemistry. And so he just conned this guy, right? And like I was saying, so he then told him, like, to give you the cure, I'm gonna need a bunch of unmarked bearer bonds and a plane with no flight path, and an uncharted flight path, and a parachute. And still they found him. Okay, apparently fucking they probably came to him and they're like, yo, I think he jumped out of the plane. And Kennedy was probably just like,
Couldn't be. Like, he's my guy.
like,
He's my guy.
and like the brainworm was just like, it's like, you know what, I could let him go, but like, this is gonna be too good. Like, this is gonna be gold. Like when he walked in here and I was like, this fucking idiot has no idea what he's talking about, but this is gonna be gold. And I was like,
You're hired.
No, get him. He was like, I'm gonna get. He's like,
no, we need to find my guy. Like, my guy's probably in trouble.
So they found him in some fucking Like he was kicking with the Taliban. Like I said, fucking Taliban's coming back. They're doing these commercials. So he's kicking with the Taliban, and SEAL Team 6 picked him up, brought him back, dragged him in front of Kennedy, and there he's like, okay, like give me time to give me the goods, you know? And he was like, oh fuck, Tylenol. And he's like, what? And he's like, Tylenol. Sorry, I'm coming out of a lot of opium. Tylenol, when you take it as a baby, no, oh, yeah, who gives Tylenol to a baby? No, you didn't let me finish. Okay, when taken by a pregnant woman, wait, yeah, is this sticky? Okay, when taken by a pregnant woman, Tylenol causes autism. And he was like, "Oh, you're a genius! Like, we're gonna get you the Nobel, the Nobel Prize for this. Like, oh, I got the cure finally." So and he turns around to everybody in the office. He's like, "I told you he was my guy. Like, all of you said he wasn't my guy, and he's my guy. Something's gonna make me credible finally. Like, I got." I got something that will make me credible. So he goes and tells Trump that Tylenol, if you take it while you're pregnant, causes autism. And I don't know how to get media on here. I'm going to figure that out soon. But go watch this video. Just go look up Trump Tylenol. Click videos. Top one. Make sure it's under like a minute and 30 seconds, so you're going to hear a bunch of news reporters be all stupid about it. But this dude, he doesn't even believe what he's reading. First of all, clearly, like every other press briefing that he does, he's reading it live, like right there. This is the very first time he's ever gotten the information that's coming out of his mouth is in that moment. So he can't even pronounce acetaminophen. So he's like, this is so the cause how do you, okay. Don't take Tylenol, basically. If you're a baby, if you're a pregnant baby, if you're anybody, just don't take it. All right, like bad. Okay, like
I like things to be good. Okay, I don't know about you. Okay, but I love it when it's good. Okay, and Tylenol, as I'm now being told, which is a thing that I'm now being told is medication that's sold everywhere for over 100 years, is bad. So no good for you. Trump out. Bobby, do you have anything to say? And he's like, no, I just want to thank my guy.
And so actually my boy's eating like fat. Like he's no longer on the run from the government. He solved the autism epidemic or whatever. And yeah, I think I'm gonna go meet him in like Caicos next week or something like that. So he's paying. So I'll let you go. I'll update you on that. Caicos with my boys. Maybe it's Turks, actually. I think we're going to both. I think he's got a yacht. So cool. I got some good things. I got some fun things. Well, actually, I got one more a little crazy thing. Straight out of science fiction. Okay, so apparently there's a new report, like the new defense whatever report says swarming drones could overwhelm air defenses, changing the future of combat. New AI software allows drones to fly and fight as one coordinated force. Okay. We've all seen this movie, okay? If you're under what I assume is 65, probably, you've played Call of Duty. we've seen this movie, we've played this game. I think you got to throw EMP grenades at them or something, is whatever the vibe is. I don't know if we have those yet. If we don't, defense tech firms, Halliburton, maybe sponsor us, but also develop EMP grenades, because this sounds like we're writing a science fiction fucking game, movie, plot, novel right now. All right, like again, we've seen this movie. Imagine just this. This is the new warfare, right? We have a fucking $100 billion or whatever the fuck it costs aircraft carrier, and it's just like, and then all of a sudden, just drone fucking swarm, and they're just like, you know, like sunk with like maybe a bunch of super glue and some AI software, and like what probably to the Chinese with their slave labor cost for production, like $80 worth of drones. And that sounds fucking scary. Okay, it sounds like this is any of these Call of Duty games that I've played where it's future warfare. I don't know if you've seen these, and these fucking drone swarms come in, and you got to throw an EMP grenade at them, and if you miss, it's basically instant dead. And like that game is, they're already terrifying. First of all, okay, like when you see, you're like, oh shit, I hope I didn't use the EMP grenades on like just being silly or whatever. So it's already terrifying, but if and when they kill me, I just reset and I just like have a little laugh, and I, you know, take another dab and drink another beer, and then get, you know, reloaded with the new EMP grenades, and then I throw them at the fucking drone swarm, which also it's retarded in the game. You know what I mean? It's like it's very unintelligent. Like it's very like this is a game designed for children to play. So grade school children can defeat this drone swarm with like a basic game mechanic. You know what I mean? Is sort of the vibe with those. And even those are like intimidating to imagine. So I don't know if you've seen these drone swarm these drone swarm shows in China. Oh my god. Okay, this is epic. Okay. Now imagine, like, this is going to be the future of drone warfare, right? Like basically, right? Like, okay, you see these drone shows where like they make like dragons and like whatever with all the lights, like okay, it's going to be like a military base, or like, I don't know, like New York City or somewhere like that. And they're going to be like, "Oh my god, like look at all those lights. Like what is that?" Like, oh my god, like it's like one of those little Chinese shows, and like basically like the Chinese, like, we send Genghis Khan, around. They're like, is that Genghis Khan like riding like a huge horde of like horsemen, like he's got a crazy like sickle thing, and it's like coming down like blah, 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 like, boom, like, oh shit, dude, like it's literally Genghis fucking Khan and the Mongol horde army incarnate in fucking drone fucking swarm form, dude. Just like, you know, like, oh, like it's so pretty, like it's a fucking dragon, and then it's just like taking out our entire like you know, like Atlantic fleet. You know what I mean? Just like, holy shit, like that dragon just flew through a fucking aircraft carrier, like both like metaphorically and literally, just like knocked it slayed our fucking shit, bro. Like, holy fuck. Well, at least it's pretty. You know what I mean? Like, at least it's pretty. Like, I mean, they do have a little bit of like the chance, like, we're very fucking artistic, you know, like we're very smart. We plan this for so fucking long. We know you're so stupid. Like, we tell you for so, like, who you think will post all their drone video, you know, like, obviously us is stupid. Like, it's all preparation for you. Mind games. My China was bad. That one needs work. Sometimes it's better. Anyways, am I right? Straight out of science fiction. I feel like this is quite possible, you know. You're just chilling in fucking Hawaii, and you're just like, what the fuck are all those Shaolin monks doing, like, in the sky? And then boom, no more Pearl Harbor. All right, I got some fun stuff here. We got some fun stuff. I have what's perf. So I got a couple things that are perf, right? Okay, so fuck. I don't know if I talked about it last time. Babe, do you know if I talked about the Taliban tourism things in the last podcast? No, I didn't. Okay. All right. So the Taliban is doing tourism ads now, basically. So the Taliban is like I seen this video, which I mean, this is just fucking perfect, right? Okay, so this group that we said did 9/11, allegedly, is now posting videos on TikTok with Americans being like, this video started with like an American, which mind you, this is TikTok, with an American with a like a bag over his head. And they're like, in Kabul, we only care. In Afghanistan, there's only one thing we have to say to America. You know, like, it's hot boy summer. Like, like, come on down to Afghanistan. Like, we're here swimming in the most purified pools of the Euphrates River. Like, we're in the cradle of life, my bro. Like, you've never been to anywhere as fun. Like take your woman too. I mean, keep her covered. You know, make sure she doesn't open her uppity bitch mouth and things like that. But like, come on down to Afghanistan, my bro. It's fire. And actually, next year we have a special deal just for you, just for Americans. We're starting a new airline. It's just a little something called Air Taliban, and we're doing direct flights straight from New York City to Kabul. So come on down. For now, no direct flights. You maybe have to fly to like Jordan or somewhere, you know, adjacent, and like, you know, charter some camels or like a bus or something. But come on down, you know, maybe do or don't bring your uppity bitch wife. I'm not who's for me to say, as long as she doesn't talk back to me. And you get the vibe. And that's pretty perf, you know what I mean? Like, they went from chopping off heads to fucking chopping off the bucket list for your next tourist destination, you know? So yeah, I'm trying to hit it. It actually looks pretty lit. I'd be down to smoke some hash with my Talibeezy. All right, these ones are pretty funny. This is just a double, like I said. Like, Trump trolling's reached an all-time high. He was visiting the UK for like a state tour, state visit, and he was staying in the Windsor Castle, and a bunch of English people got together. Like, they started like a GoFundMe to get like the world's largest like photo of him with Jeffrey Epstein like printed, and it's like on a massive like silk screened like canvas, basically. So it's just pulled out, and it's like, I don't know, it looks like it's like 10, you know, like not like 10, but like 2 or 3 stories high probably in this photo. You know, it's like huge. It takes up like the whole park. So they just like pull that out on the grass in front of the Windsor Castle, and then they started like projecting like images of, you know, of him with Jeffrey Epstein, or like videos from the party and just stuff like that up on like the turrets of the castle, which is just like pretty peak trolling. Obviously the UK is like a censorship, like government state. So like, you know, they allow people to get stabbed or whatever on their streets. But they like, I heard they just beat these dudes. You know what I mean? They're just like, oh, what's all this then? Like, you're gonna be posting up all that? I'm not having it. And rounded up these, you know, these bloody fucking what you calls them in it? Left-wing bloody nationalists, bloody left-wing terrorists in here. Like, God damn it! Like, don't embarrass us in front of the God. Like, I know. What was it, George? I know Georgie was playing around with on Epstein's Island, and we had to pay a hush money settlement. I know but like, you hush up there, you know, like, so. That's pretty funny. It's pretty perf. The last one for that is that some artist like made some statue that they just dropped in the National Monument right in front of basically in the National Mall, pretty much right in front of the Washington Monument. And it's this bronze statue or whatever, like bronze encased statue with that's like Trump shaking hands with Epstein, and like they look kind of like Disney characters. Honestly, they're a little like gaily like animated, and I use the term literally as in happy. And on like a marble like appearing looking-ish pedestal, and like this shit, I don't know if it is, but like this shit looked heavy as fuck. So like, I mean, obviously they're probably again gonna label these people as domestic terrorists and like round them up, and like probably ICE is gonna like throw them in the back of a van, and like 18-year-old children are gonna have to beat them half to death, and then put them in cuffs, and then probably like throw like delicing powder all over them, and then throw them in the back of an open bed truck, and then drag them out in chains while they spray them down to the fire hose. So Kristi Noem can create a new ad, and it'll probably be like shit. I can't think of a good like joke pun for this, because they've been using a bunch, like apparently Pokemon, just like they apparently did a gotta catch them. So this is what it'll be. It'll be, oh, I know it. Okay, I got it. Perfect. Okay, so it'll be Kristi Noem in front of all these people, rounded up, and mind you, these are real clips, so you can look this up. As fictitious and insane as this sounds, this is 100% real video of 18-year-old kids beating or bringing what looks like a bunch of beaten, chained up immigrants that are daisy chained by their feet out of the back of an open bed truck that look like their whole bodies are covered in what appears to be probably delicing powder, and then hosing them down with fire hoses. And Kristi Noem's just there being like, gotta catch them all, go Blastoise, you know what I mean? Like, Blastoise, use water gun, and just like fucking, and probably puts like a little animated like GIF over the Mexicans as like little fuck, what's the most Mexican Pokemon? Mr. Mime? I don't know. Anyways. Ditto's the most Mexican Pokemon, because he just like whatever he needs to like, like I'm a Mexican, like the fuck are you talking about? Like I'm just a gardener, like I've been here forever. So like Ditto's the most Mexican. So a bunch of Dittos over them, and that's probably good for their agenda too, because they'd be like, look at these fucking like adjusting to our society ass motherfuckers, you know what I mean? Like, look at these conforming ass, like, come here, adhere to our rules and laws and our systems, and pay taxes and contribute to our GDP by doing jobs that nobody else would do. Like, look at these fucking amorphous, like blob fucking Pokemon-esque creatures. So it's probably them with Ditto superimposed over them, and Blastoise with like Ash Ketchum behind it, as like maybe Kristi Noem with Ash Ketchum like next to her, and being like, Blastoise, use water gun, and like shooting all of these Mexicans or political dissidents or artists that are trolling through artistic expression. I assume that they're all destined for that same general like outcome right now. So yeah. And just to be clear, if you guys are watching this, Kristi Noem, I'm not saying I'm against you. I'm not saying I'm with you, but play both sides of the fence. Okay, I have two more things here. I have the tech, which these are super easy. Okay, so new iPhone, buddy. Okay, dish, right? We got some here that's fire. Okay, we have the fucking these new AirBuds, bro. They do live translation. Okay, these are like these were rumored. Okay, I've heard they've been rumored for a while, and basically I've been holding off on learning Spanish based on a loose rumor. And I mean, I'm still gonna learn, but I've been a little slower because I was like, well, like, is that coming out? You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna still use Duolingo like a little bit, but like I'll cancel my membership if those come out. So they come out. So they do like live translation where people are talking to you. They will translate to you on the other side with the noise cancellation. And when you talk, it'll make like a little live AI, or little AI generated live readout of what you're saying into a chat form, which that's tech, bro. Like that's so fucking that's I mean, we're living in the future, okay? 2025. The other tech, well, it's also invented, it's both by Apple actually. Double whammy for the Apple. So I think I mentioned it, but like ICE has gotten Israeli spyware. They've gotten Mossad spyware that they can remote hack into your phone. And Apple invented this new thing. It says they've been doing it for half a decade. They've been working on it, but it's this new, I don't know. Look up Tim Cook talking about it with his nerd mumbo jumbo, but old guy nerd mumbo jumbo. But basically, it's something that's some chip that like reinforces the memory in your thing to make it so your pass keys can't be like remote duplicated. And yeah, so the new iPhone protects from remote spyware attacks from like foreign government agencies and also apparently, newly authorized domestic agencies. So tech, I'm definitely going to upgrade because as what is soon to maybe be branded, and I'm not saying I agree, but potentially branded as a political, Antifa dissident, whatever it is, made up mumbo jumbo that they want to say because I make jokes or whatever. In that case, it'd be great for them not to be able to like remote hack my phone. So upgrading that for sure. Getting those new headphones. The last thing I have here, dude, is who's winning, and I have this guy is probably he might be the most winning guy I've ever heard of in the history of me writing about this section and pulling up for this section. So this is a Palestinian man who for 5 fucking years has been trying to get out of Palestine. So first he like paid a border guard into Egypt to get him through, and then he got from Egypt to like China, and then was denied political asylum in China. So then he got deported back, and then he tried to go through like some like land means, or no, he had to get on like some boat with some smugglers. That's what it was, some like smuggler boats. So he tried to do that a few times. They kept taking his money, and like they just kept getting calls. After 10 attempts of that, the dude copped an old jet ski online, right? Tooled this bitch up, got on Chat GPT to calculate how much gas he'd need for him and 2 people to get from Palestine to the fucking sunny beaches of Italy, right? Like from the fucking bombed out fucking whole of my country, Gaza, to the beautiful, like, Sicilian shores of Italy, like the beautiful, most, like, look at all these beautiful women. They see these brown adjacent men that come out of the ocean, and they just think they're sort of handsome. So these dudes are the most winning motherfuckers ever. They got on these jet skis. They had enough gas. They loaded up this dude, and I don't know who else, but they used like their little map system, skirting around. They like they skirted like Tunisian like military patrols and zip zapped it or whatever, and then they ended up like just a few miles off the Italian coast. And like I think these Italian dudes pulled up, and they're just like, "What are you doing? What are you doing here?" And they just towed them into the beach. And yeah, now Italy's giving them, basically I think Italy was just like, that is a pretty crazy, bro. Like, like normally we do this, but your guys are winning. So they let him stay, and I think they gave them each like an Italian wife and like a home in whatever part of Italy where it's like $1 to get the house, and you just got to like renovate the house. So yeah, I think they got, they're up as fuck, winning as fuck. I think that's amazing. Shout out. I think if you want to do something for Palestine and Gaza, there's probably a lot of different things you could do. There's probably a lot of resources. Maybe call your senators and be like, what? Hold on. Who do you think you are, and and what gives you the right to do genocide with my tax dollars? Like no. Just before you answer that, what gives you the right to do genocide with my tax dollars? So we could start there. B, there's probably a bunch of causes you could donate to. You know, like obviously make sure it's a good charitable organization. And I know there's a lot of scams out there with these, you know, there's people pretending on GoFundMe and this and that. And then C, if you have the capacity to eBay airdrop somehow, I don't know how the guy got it, maybe into Egypt or something. But anyways, eBay airdropped used Yamaha or similar jet skis into their general region with maybe like a plotted like map path and gasoline calculations. Make sure to tell them to bring a little bit more than the other crew brought, and you know, maybe we can get a bunch of them, some, you know, bad Italian wives, and we'll turn, like, you know, some old Italian, you know, Appalachian, or not Appalachian, Alps, whatever the Alps is. What are the Alps Alation? Villa town filled with all these Palestinians that need to get these bad bitch Italian wives and rebuild their lives. All right, anyways, have a good night, day.